Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling, a new revolutionary force in wrestling YouTube videos.
Last time on Eric Bischoff's episode of the Pick Fed.
People are ready for what we have in store for Pick Fed wrestling action. Our general manager about to make their way to the ring. And folks, the general manager for Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling, Eric Bischoff, is here as we have the Cruiserweight Championship on the line. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Light heavyweight action, and that somehow he's able to roll up Dominic. 1, 2, only a 2 count. God damn it. Oh my. And Dominic Mysterio. Gotta be kidding me. And a mission open driver as well. Could this be what Dominic needs to be the first ever light heavyweight champion? There it is. 1, 2. No, you gotta be kidding me. For a shot at the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championship. Gonna go down into the same partner Totpw. No, but look at this, actually was getting caught. Fairy tailing. Gargano and Ciampa trying to leave the middle, but King caught him. Damn, dropped it right on his head. Matthew's Law. 1, 2, and there it is, the House of Black. Although every team in this match had a fighting chance, the House of Black were able to get the job done. Rhodes now taking Psycho Sid to the outside as he goes off the ropes. And look at this, suicide dive through the ropes to Sid. Sid caught him, choke slam on the floor, no. And this is where he's had him pretty much drop the entire match. And look at this, oh my God, that body drop there, and a leg drop. Psycho Sid to Cody Rhodes. And springboard off the ropes to the Psycho Sid. And now Cody Rhodes starting to fight back here finally against Psycho Sid. And he's feeling it. Could we see it? No! Cody Rhodes was trying to go for that Cody cutter, but Sid pushed him to the outside. But now look at this Rhodes. Back. Cody cutter there. Look at the double underhook here. Bam! Oh my God. And look at this. Oh, Cody Rhodes got him. But no Sid. Lifting Rhodes all the way up and just tossing him. He goes for that powerbomb to seal the deal. Now the referee is down. And Rhodes right on his feet. Crossroads are coming. Here it comes. Mr. Perfect. Oh no, Mr. Perfect on the outside. And Rick Rude. And here it is. Should have known, rude awakening. We should have known after what he said earlier to Eric Bischoff. And now Psycho Sid looking to seal the deal with that powerbomb to Cody Rhodes. 1, 2, and the master and the ruler of the universe is now the first ever world champion here in Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling. God, you gotta believe that this is not what we wanted as an organization. A man like Psycho Sid cannot be tamed. A man like Psycho Sid.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Pick Fed Working Hours, presented here tonight by Teddy Long. I am here, joined tonight by Jerry the King Lawler, and of course, good old JR.
Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling fans, myself and Jerry the King Lawler are very excited to be here tonight.
Well, you're right about that, JR. And Bryce, I gotta say, I'm really excited to commentate this fatal four-way match. Whoever wins this will move on to get a chance to fight for the Workhorse Championship.
Jerry, all of these men realistically can be considered workhorses, but I gotta say,
Kyle O'Reilly is one of those guys who realistically is one of those workhorses. This guy has learned so many different ways to knock out his opponents. Whether it be submission or striking, he can do it all. And Kyle O'Reilly is here tonight to prove why he is one of the workhorses of this business.
Two gentlemen, who will compete for the Totpw Pro Wrestling Workhorse Championship. The first match is the one called Fatal 4-Way Match. Introducing first from Vancouver, British Columbia, weighing in tuning at 206 pounds, the pickup artist, Go Relay.
Kyle O'Reilly, with that technical expertise and high-octane offense, is a force to be reckoned with.
You can certainly say that again, King. Kyle O'Reilly is one of those guys who blend that submission expertise with that striking, strong style, and not a lot of wrestlers can do that nowadays.
Well, I don't know there, Bryce. I would have to beg to differ. And the only reason being is because I took a look at the roster sheet of everybody that we have, and man, I gotta say, there's a lot of guys who I could pair up with Kyle O'Reilly that can meet his match.
Oh boy, JR! You want to talk about guys that can meet his match? The Samoan submission machine? I don't know. Kyle O'Reilly might have just met somebody who could take it to him.
Former X-Division champion in TNA and, of course, world champion as well, Samoa Joe. This man has done it all of the professional wrestling business. I just listed 2 of his accomplishments, but trust me, he's got many, many more.
Hold on, guys. Take a second here and listen to this audience. Do you hear them going nuts for Samoa Joe? They love this guy. He is a man of the people, and I think people like him just because he's so ruthless in there with his opponents.
Well, here's somebody who could match his violence. I would have to say a lot of the men who are entering this match fit the description of what this match is going to be about. This is going to be a bloody war, and these men are going to take it to one another. And it's also going to be a technical masterpiece with the submissions and various holds that we're going to see.
Every competitor that comes out just gets me more and more excited. JR, I just got to say, this is going to be a very exciting night.
Yeah, well, I didn't doubt that for a second, just as much as Bryan Danielson does not doubt himself. He believes in himself, and I believe that's what's going to take him all the way to the championship. This is the guy who I believe is going to go all the way.
From Chicago, Illinois, weighing 218 pounds, CM.
Wow, guys, I gotta say, if I was excited for that Samoa Joe reaction, I am even way more excited for this reaction that CM Punk is getting here tonight. And when we come back from this commercial break, we will see who will win this match. Hey guys, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling YouTube video. I just wanted to take this time to thank Ringside Collectibles for all that they've done for the action figure community when it comes to wrestling. If it wasn't for these guys who started it all, we wouldn't be able to get our hands on a lot of the figures you see nowadays. Now, I'm not sponsored, nor do I have a discount code by any means, but I just wanted to take this time to thank them because, again, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't see a lot of what we do today. So go ahead right at the end of this video, or hell, even while you're watching this video, and check out ringsidecollectibles.com or wrestlingfigures.com for the most up-to-date wrestling figures in the world.
Hey there, Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling fans. This is Dylan from the Talkin' Wrestling Podcast. We give you a weekly deep dive into all things professional wrestling. I'm more of an old school wrestling fan who still gets chills thinking about Hayabusa's high-flying moves, and yeah, I still miss the chaos of ECW and the old school feel of Smoky Mountain.
And I'm Lissy, more of a modern wrestling enthusiast. I lean a little bit more towards AEW, though you can catch me still following WWE as well. I'm all about the elite. Kenny, Hangman, Jack Perry, the Bucks, all of them. They keep the biz alive for me, as well as brought me back kind of like Pepsi Phil 7 years after coming back.
That's right. We're here to talk about everything from classic wrestling history to the most modern angles in the wrestling world. Whether it's the top stories from WWE, AEW, the Indies, if it's pro wrestling news and or history, you're bound to discuss it.
We love discussing it all, from today's biggest stars like Kenny Omega, the best bout machine, to those hardcore legends like Mick Foley or Cactus Jack or Mankind or even Dude Love. Well, whichever one of those. But if you're looking for insight into the past of wrestling, the present of wrestling, or even our thoughts on the future of wrestling, or even if you just need some wrestling therapy, we're your go-to.
Oh yeah, in every episode, we make sure to highlight a Wrestler of the Week, which you can see the list of everyone we've chosen in the past on our Instagram. One of the greats, whether it's someone who changed the game or someone who pops in our head. And don't forget, we kick off each show with a quick check-in about our week. Nothing too fancy, but it gives you a little peek into what we're up to with your backstage pass.
Yep, and that just adds a little personal touch, so it feels like we're all hanging out together, whether you're driving, working, or just relaxing. So if you have the time on your hands in this terrible economy, after watching this Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling video, give us a view and hit that subscribe button. But make sure you don't leave this Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling video. Bryce told me to say that. You'll get all the juicy commentary, fun debates, and maybe a little bit of nostalgia from us. Who knows?
A little. I think that's every episode. So remember, whether you're old school or modern, we've got something for every wrestling fan. So stay tuned and let's keep the conversation rolling, baby.
And folks, we're back. Here we go. Fatal four-way action. Samoa Joe, Kyle O'Reilly, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk. This thing already getting hot and heavy.
Kyle O'Reilly on the outside now as Bryan Danielson suicide dive to the outside.
Oh boy! And now, these two bitter rivals, CM Punk and Samoa Joe, they're gonna go at it.
Yeah, King, these two have beaten the heck out of each other for years. These two have been up and down the road together, as now Joe continuing to chop and gets him down. Atomic drop, chop to the chest, and a big old senton drop there. CM Punk though back to his feet with these continuous punches.
Oh! Punk tried gaining some offense there, but Samoa Joe was able to get back into it with a clothesline, as now he's just drilling Punk with these punches to the face.
King, this is exactly what Samoa Joe likes to do. He likes to wear his opponents down, and that's what he's doing now with these punches. And now the face wash, and if CM Punk's face wasn't clean before, it better be now, as Samoa Joe drills his boot through the face of CM Punk.
Samoa Joe is just nasty in the ring with any opponent he's with, as Danielson off the ropes, and now with that power slam is Samoa Joe. Just taking it to him, and Kyle O'Reilly getting back in this with a big old back suplex. But CM Punk now has Kyle O'Reilly and a big suplex there.
Now it's just Punk and Riley, as now O'Reilly kick, sweet, off the ropes and a PK to the chest. My God, just caving his chest in there.
O'Reilly with those educated hands and feet. He's so smooth and fast.
As Kyle O'Reilly catches him in the dragon screw, and he's got that knee, but Danielson kicks to the chest. Just trying to cave the chest into Kyle O'Reilly. And now look at this. Big old kick to the head.
Danielson showing his technical prowess here as he grabs CM Punk and takes him for a double arm suplex.
Folks, after this match, there will be 3 other matches where we will determine who also will compete for the Workhorse Championship. At the end of it all, there will be 2 men who will be competing for the championship in a one-on-one match. But 4 other matches are going to help us decide who are going to be the best out of those 4. And now CM Punk with that big old neck breaker.
CM Punk with a Mongolian chop and a classic short arm clothesline. This is why I love the way CM Punk wrestles. He's very old school.
With a small flair of the independent wrestling of today. With stuff like this, a suicide dive to Danielson on the outside.
And listen to these people as the "This is awesome" chants just erupt throughout the building. They are loving this contest, and I do not blame them. These guys are taking it to one another and just lighting each other up at every possible chance with shots just like these. My God!
Oh my, this thing is a slobber knocker. It's breaking down into a brawl.
Kyle O'Reilly trying to lift the lifeless and large body of Samoa Joe.
Oh, as he trips him up there. But he better watch out as Danielson on the top rope here. What's he going to do?
This is a very precarious situation for Danielson to be in as he goes for that missile drop kick and just nails it on Kyle O'Reilly, flush, squared it on the chest.
Danielson, though, was able to nail that regal plexus. Now Joe, bam! Back elbow in that enziguri gets him right in the corner. And it looks like something might have caught Bryan Danielson there above the eye. Yeah, look at all that blood going down the face.
Bryan Danielson is now donning the crimson mask as CM Punk is on the outside. Springboard and a diving clothesline back into the ring on Samoa Joe.
Punk caught Danielson with that knee in a second short arm clothesline. But now this thing is on. It's about to break down here.
Oh man, King JR, look at this. It's breaking down. Both men slugging each other back and forth, back and forth.
This thing is a good old-fashioned slobber knocker as these guys are beating each other like government mules.
Oh man, and now CM Punk cut above the eye. And Danielson got him on the shoulders with this airplane spin. Round and round they go. Where they stop, nobody knows.
Well, I know. In the corner, as now Danielson runs, but gets caught by O'Reilly on the other side.
And it looked like O'Reilly might have been going for a brainbuster there, but Danielson, gotch-style power driver, dropping him on the top of his head.
And CM Punk with that signature Pepsi twist. This could be what CM Punk needs to get the win here.
Yeah, well, it is a little bit hard when you got a monster like Samoa Joe throwing you off the focus of getting the victory here, but Joe going for the pin. 1, 2. Danielson diving off the top rope with that diving headbutt.
Danielson keeping this thing going, but for how much longer? These men can't possibly have much left in the tank.
Well, 3 men are currently on their feet as Samoa Joe was trying to knock them down with these continuous punches, and I believe one busted open the eye of Kyle O'Reilly. Now he's bleeding. And a brainbuster there to Samoa Joe, my God.
With the little bit of energy that Kyle O'Reilly had, he used it to take it out on Samoa Joe, but man, did that cost him. As now CM Punk and Danielson taking it to one another, and Danielson has Punk now with the label lock. This could be it here.
If CM Punk taps out, this could be it. But Samoa Joe has the same idea.
You're right about that, King, as he flips him over and gets him in that Boston Crab. And both men in precarious situations here. This could be it.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any chance either of these men are tapping out. As now Joe, desperation move there, trying to powerbomb Kyle O'Reilly into Danielson to stop his submission.
Oh, look out here, muscle buster there. Samoa Joe in the driver's seat, but not for long. CM Punk, wait, Joe now, continuous kicks to the head after he's already been busted open. This isn't good.
Joe looking for a lariat, but it's gonna cost him. CM Punk is gonna make him go to sleep.
You're right about that, King, as now GTS. That could be it right there, is now 2, 3, and CM Punk moves on.
CM Punk is now going to face whoever wins the next qualifying match, and I'm excited to see who it's going to be. I mean, anybody against CM Punk is going to be a good one.
Congratulations, CM Punk, for moving on. But wait, it's the Bulldog.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what this is about. Is British Bulldog now making his way out to the ring? What is the British Bulldog doing out here?
Well, I'm not quite sure, JR. I'm pretty sure he's not one of the men competing to have a chance for the Workhorse Championship. Oh, and neither is this man, Yokozuna. What's Yokozuna doing coming out here?
Oh my, the 700-pound monster, Yokozuna, all the way from Japan. What is he doing out here?
I'm not quite sure, JR. I'm not even sure how these two are affiliated.
Oh, wait, yep, that makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Cornette, Camp Cornette making their way to the ring. Now this all makes sense. But I'm still not quite too sure why they're out here.
Yes, of course, Jim Cornette at one point led a group known as Camp Cornette, and tonight he's leading them into battle right now. I mean, I guess he's leading them into battle. Was this going to be battle? I don't even know.
Jim Cornette extending the hand to CM Punk?
No, wait, no.
Does he want CM Punk to join Camp Cornette?
Punk, you can't do this.
No, he wouldn't. Bryan Danielson. No, yeah, of course not. He would never join Camp Cornette.
Well, thank goodness, because I would hate to see a world where CM Punk is with that pro wrestling tyrant. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us here tonight on this match, this fatal four-way match. CM Punk just moved on, so tap that subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you never miss an upload.
CM Punk, a man who I've wrestled throughout my long, illustrious career, gave me the fight of my life tonight. And not just him, but the other two men that were in that match. Samoa Joe, Kyle O'Reilly, you two, the hell out of both of us. And I gotta thank you for that. But the thing that upset me the most about this match was Jim Cornette coming out at the end of it. Did Jim Cornette really think for 1 second that CM Punk, a guy who I've known throughout my entire career, was going to join Camp Cornette? Did he really think for a single solitary second that he was going to join Camp Cornette? Well, that's just ridiculous.
Brian, I agree with you. It's ridiculous that even for a second, Jim Cornette would believe I'd align with someone like him. His views on the wrestling world just don't fly in today's society. But that's not the important matter at hand here, Brian. What's important is that now I focus on becoming the first tapped out to pro wrestling workhorse champion. It doesn't matter to me who else will move on and who else I'll have to go through. I've gone through the best. I've beaten the best. But more importantly, I am the best. The best in the world. And Brian, who knows? Maybe when I'm done here and there's a championship around my waist, we can get matching ones on our shoulders. Maybe we go after whoever wins the tag team championships. The world may never know.
Welcome back from the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Zone, where this capacity crowd is on its feet. Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler. And of course, Bryce Van Pelt.
If we don't get this show on the road, I think we're going to have a riot on our hands, JR.
We are about to have a one-on-one competition between two men on the Work Hours brand who represent the light heavyweight division here. But members of this brand are allowed to compete for the light heavyweight championship. That is one of the only championships that cross over between brands.
And these two men that are about to compete one-on-one are actually two people who are the number one and number two contenders for that championship on this brand. This man you see here, the People's King Ricochet,
will be taking on the whole effing show. As you can see, the smoke being blown into the face, into the eyes of Ricochet, just like it usually is for this man, Rob Van Dam.
Guys, I'm sure we'll see the redness in his eyes. It was a part of that trashy CW dog that used to run in bingo hall. But even I have to admit, the love for Mr. Monday Night is like no other.
Rob Van Dam is here, a man who some claim to be an extremist, but is looking to show his wrestling capabilities here tonight against Ricochet.
These two, I believe, have never stepped foot in a ring one-on-one against one another, but now, here in the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling world, we're going to get to see these two go at it one-on-one, and folks, I gotta say, I'm excited for this one.
RVD's 5-star frog splash is simply amazing. It is truly a piece of art.
We're about to get this one underway, and don't blink for a second.
RVD's got those educated feet. One went to Harvard, one went to Yale.
Of course, King, but you can't count out Ricochet, who's definitely one of the fastest high flyers Teddy Long has drafted.
Ricochet into the headlock. Off the ropes goes Ricochet, ducks the line. Here we go, Rob Van Dam. Placing him right down on his back there with those quick feet of Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam from Battle Creek, Michigan, got his start in the mid-90s in ECW, where he developed a huge following. In fact, was it you, King, that coined the name Mr. Monday Night?
Yeah, well, my memory's not so good. But if I did, I haven't seen one royalty check from it.
Rob rolling back in now. Ricochet back in the ring as well, lands on his feet. Moonsault back on his feet as well, back into the corner. Rob with these shoulder thrusts now.
Van Dam is so unorthodox. It's so hard to prepare for RV because there's just very few people that possess his abilities offensively.
As now Ricochet gets the upper hand with that clothesline and a spaceman plancha to the floor. Ricochet very impressive there with that high-flying offense with that spaceman plancha taking Rob Van Dam out. But now we're back in the ring with both men here as Rob up on the shoulders of Ricochet. No. Big old German suplex there. 1, 2. Only a 2 count.
He couldn't get the 3 count on that one.
He's really starting to show signs of being worn out from the match.
Uh-oh. He's up to something, JR.
A huge double underhook face buster. And that might be the difference maker right there.
You might as well ring the bell now. No one gets up from that.
But I think the end is in sight.
And there it is, King. The guillotine leg drop.
Hey there, Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling fans. This is Dylan from the Talkin' Wrestling podcast. We give you a weekly deep dive into all things professional wrestling. I'm more of an old school wrestling fan who still gets chills thinking about Hayabusa's high-flying moves, and yeah, I still miss the chaos of ECW and the old school feel of Smoky Mountain.
And I'm Lissy, more of a modern wrestling enthusiast. I lean a little bit more towards AEW, though you can catch me still following WWE as well. I'm all about the elite. Kenny, Hangman, Jack Perry, the Bucks, all of them. They keep the biz alive for me, as well as brought me back kind of like Pepsi Phil 7 years after coming back.
That's right. We're here to talk about everything from classic wrestling history to the most modern angles in the wrestling world. Whether it's the top stories from WWE, AEW, the Indies, if it's pro wrestling news and or history, you're bound to discuss it.
We love discussing it all, from today's biggest stars like Kenny Omega, you know, the best bout machine, to those hardcore legends like Mick Foley or Cactus Jack or Mankind or even Dude Love. Well, you know, whichever one of those. But if you're looking for insight into the past of wrestling, the present of wrestling, or even our thoughts on the future of wrestling, or even if you just need some wrestling therapy, we're your go-to.
Oh yeah, in every episode, we make sure to highlight a Wrestler of the Week, which you can see the list of everyone we've chosen in the past on our Instagram. One of the greats, whether it's someone who changed the game or someone who pops in our head. And don't forget, we kick off each show with a quick check-in about our week. Nothing too fancy, but it gives you a little peek into what we're up to with your backstage pass.
Yep, and that just adds a little personal touch, so it feels like we're all hanging out together, whether you're driving, working, or just relaxing. So if you have the time on your hands in this terrible economy, after watching this Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling video, give us a view and hit that subscribe button. But make sure you don't leave this Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling video. Bryce told me to say that. You'll get all the juicy commentary, fun debates, and maybe a little bit of nostalgia from us. Who knows?
A little. I think that's every episode. So remember, whether you're old school or modern, we've got something for every wrestling fan. So stay tuned and let's keep the conversation rolling, baby.
Folks, and we're back. Here we go. As you can see, Rob Van Dam has taken these bitty pops that we had right in front of the announcer's table. What's he doing here? He's kind of made like his own barricade here. Oh no, he isn't thinking what I think he's thinking, is he? He can't be. I don't think that's stable enough to hold it, Rob. No, don't do this. No, my God.
What an impact. I'm sure that felt even worse than it looked.
If he keeps this up, this could be over quick.
But we're back in the ring here. Now Ricochet up and over yet again, ducks the line, lands on his feet, caught him. Rob Van Dam in trouble here. Ricochet just too quick for him, but no, not for long. But yes, Ricochet back suplex. Rob Van Dam lands. Ricochet able to get him with that big old head scissors, though. Backing Rob Van Dam all the way up into the corner. Ricochet has Rob right where he wants him. Cartwheel into the turnbuckle. Rob was able to move out of the way. Man, and he hit him with that leg lariat, and bam!
Did you see that? That's going to leave a mark.
I think that's the whole idea, King.
Oh no, rolling thunder. Ricochet able to move out of the way. But Ricochet, look at, he's setting up. He's setting up that Rick Bottom. That Rick Bottom. My God, the spit in the face of the electrifying man. Rob Van Dam off the ropes, kick to the gut. Big old Enziguri catches him. Rick Bottom incoming. And you know what that sets up for. Ricochet's People's Moonsault.
It's the most electrifying move in sports entertainment. The People's Moonsault.
No! Rob Van Dam able to catch him. Rolling Thunder. And this could be it. Rob Van Dam headed to the top. He's getting high. And Rob has officially become the highest in the room as now he's on the top rope.
He always wants to get higher. And there he goes. 5-star frog splash.
He sure is, right on top of his opponent. 5-star frog splash.
Here's the cover, JR.
He may get the 3 count here.
Rob Van Dam getting the victory here, keeping his spot as the #1 contender for Dominic Mysterio's Light Heavyweight Championship here on the Working Hours brand.
And there it is. That's the match. That's it. That's all she wrote.
Wait a second, Ricochet! That son of a bitch! What is he doing? Continuing this onslaught. But no! Here comes the cavalry!
There aren't many superstars as diversely talented as Forrest Strickland. He's as good in the ring as he is on the microphone, and that's saying something.
But wait, I don't think he's here to save Rob. No, you've got to be kidding me, Ricochet. Pulling Rob into the center of the ring. God damn it, no. Springboard! 450 to Rob Van Dam, no! But wait a second, is this the man here to save Rob? Ilya Dragunov!
Ilya Dragunov is one of the biggest hard hitters. Although not one of the biggest men in the world, he's still able to pack a punch with the best. Azteca being able to avoid swerve. Torpedo Moscow, head-on-head twang headbutt. Rob Van Dam is such an amazing athletic competitor. There's not a doubt in my mind that he's one of the biggest stars in the business.
You've got to be kidding me, JR. I think you're more out of it than RVD is. I mean, Van Dam might have a few fans, but that doesn't mean he's as big a star as he seems to think he is.
Something wrong with your eyes, King? You need glasses? Look at all the RVD fans in this arena. There aren't many other superstars who get this kind of reception.
Well, just because a bunch of people believe something, that doesn't make it right. It wouldn't be the first time the fans have backed the wrong horse, JR.
And Rob Van Dam, at least he's got a friend in somebody here. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this one-on-one contest.
You know, Baba, I just can't believe that one episode and Eric Bischoff would take a shot at my show. It's also crazy to think that he believes his show is better than ours. Yes, he believes he has the star power, but we have something way more important than that. Gentlemen who would do all it takes to give the people who purchased a seat the show they've always been waiting for. Not with bull malarkey angles, but the world's greatest wrestling.
Yo, Teddy, you saw what just went down. I want to do something about Swerve and Ricochet. Whether I gotta find a partner or take them on myself, I want them any way I can have them. They just tried to kill me.
Yo, Rob, find a partner? Who? Who's your friend here? Who? You and Dragunov didn't look too friendly? Besides, we want something more, which we came to talk to Teddy about.
Yeah, man, we believe we deserve a shot at Dom Dom and are willing to take on each other for the opportunity. Or even if you want help, make it a four-way with Mr. Monday Night and his new buddy.
Well, gentlemen, trust me, as intriguing as a fatal four-way #1 contender match is, you just gave me an even better idea, because there's another man who's looking to make a name for himself here in the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling light heavyweight division. So how about I give you 4 of that tag team match soon, as well as a 1 fall to a finish. #1 contender 5-man match with you 4 and this man making his debut.
Gentlemen, just in case you are deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or by the looks of it, really poor, my name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
I'd like to say I'm happy to share the ring with you, but I wouldn't be caught dead telling a lie like that. Ricochet, I'd like to ask why you bald, but I'd really hate to offend you. Besides, nothing's uglier to me than Swerve's dreads and unnatural grill. And Mr. Monday Night, the guy who can do all the flips and kicks, but his red-eyed blurry vision is usually what's in his way, all because he can't quit that 420 lifestyle, man. Look, it doesn't matter who Billionaire Ted puts against me. I'm bound to get to Simp and my championship soon enough. I didn't slim down and cut weight for nothing after all.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Pick Fed. As you just saw, CM Punk has moved on for his shot at the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Workhorse Championship. But folks, here comes another man who is set to compete for an opportunity to fight for the Workhorse Championship. Don't hate the playa, hate the game. This is the franchise playa himself, Booker T. Booker T is here. And folks, I think realistically, if anybody has a shot of winning that championship, it's a guy with the tenure like Booker T. There is nobody on the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling roster who exudes as much confidence as this man, the man known as Booker T. Probably one of the greatest stars that we have on the roster here. Folks, I'm excited to have him, and he's got something he's got to say. Let's hear what Booker T has to say.
Look, I'm happy Teddy Long believes I'm a workhorse. But what I'm not happy about is the fact he's making me fight all these guys to get that championship. He should know more than anybody. Big Money Booker is the man around here. When he signed my contract, he should have just handed me the belt. But of course, his big-headed, goofy dumbass is making me fight for it. Well, that's fine, but I want everyone fighting for the shot to remember. Don't hate the player, hate the game. The kid, you dig that sucker!
Oh my, Booker T clearly not happy about the fact that he has to face all these other guys and has to even fight for an opportunity to win the championship. Booker T believes he should just have that championship already in his bag, but here's another guy who probably feels the exact same way he does, the man who will be competing in the same match as Booker T, the Big Red Machine Kane. But of course, here comes his henchman. Oh boy, I don't think Kane took a liking to anything that Booker T had to say, especially the fact that Kane is in the same match as Booker T. Booker T believing that he shouldn't even have to compete in the match that he's in. But Kane otherwise, knowing that he deserves a shot for that championship. Oh my God. Oh, Kane is one scary guy. He is one scary monster, and I wouldn't want to pick a fight with him, but Booker T, he's ready to take both these guys on. But wait! Folks, wait a second. Look up in the rafters. It's Sting! The man they call Sting is here, hopefully to fight by the side of Booker T and not against Booker T, because this is the third man who later tonight will be competing in a triple threat. It'll be Sting, Booker T, and Kane, all for a shot to compete for the Workhorse Championship. And I don't even think Booker T realizes Sting is in the ring yet. Oh, but now he does. With Sting's buddy Darby Allin coming to his aid. Now I think Booker T realizes it. Yep. And no way is Booker T happy that the guy who he's got to be facing later tonight was the one to help him out here. Booker T was willing to take these guys both on his own. Yeah, you could tell Booker T is pretty frustrated by that. Having the guy who he will be going up against help him here. I mean, I don't know, I kind of understand the frustration, but he should just be happy. But ladies and gentlemen, up next, you see him here. This is the man they call the Sandman, and he's going to be competing for the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Hardcore Championship. My God! Up next. What a pre-match ritual this guy has. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling, the Pick Fed. We are about to have hardcore action for you. As you can see, all the weapons draped throughout the ring, ladders at the top of the entrance stage, and here comes the Sandman. Folks, of course, I'm joined here, as always, by Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler.
When you've got the superstars of Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling, you know that every show's going to be a great one.
No doubt about it, King. We are fired up for the
Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling
superstars, and I know they're going to return the favor here tonight.
And the Sandman is one of the 4 competitors who will be competing for the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Hardcore Championship here tonight.
Introducing first, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing in today at 240 pounds, the Sandman.
I don't see how anyone can admire the Sandman. He's a foul-mouthed, beer-swilling, blue-collar redneck.
A former ECW heavyweight champion, now looking to cement his legacy as one of the most hardcore men here on the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling brand. And as you can tell, he is truthfully a fan favorite coming in through all of these people.
I think I figured out why these fans love the Sandman. He's a beer-swilling idiot, just like most of them.
You might be right, but I have to wonder if the risk is worth the reward.
How does a man wrestle when he is as drunk as the Sandman? I don't know if I really understand that. You know, a man who has so much alcohol flowing through his blood like the Sandman. I don't know. I don't really get it.
He's always drinking.
You know, how do you wrestle seeing double?
Sandman's usually got a beer in one hand and a Singapore cane in the other.
Well, JR, you know all about the Sandman. I mean, look at this guy. He's a former construction worker.
And now here comes one of his opponents, another legend in the hardcore wrestling world. In fact, some would say the legend in the hardcore wrestling world, Terry Funk. There he is.
And introducing the opponents from the Double Cross Ranch in Amarillo, Texas, weighing 260 pounds, Terry Funk.
Truthfully, the man is Texas tough, Texas built.
I hope these fans appreciate the opportunity to see Terry Funk in action here tonight. If there's a hell that Terry Funk won't put himself through to get a win, I've yet to see it.
Middle-aged and crazy is Terry Funk. And now, oh my God, honestly, probably one of the sickest men in this match. Some would say a modern-day version of a lot of the men who are going to be in this Fatal 4-Way. Jon Moxley, this man is almost like a street dog.
That music can mean only one man and one man only. The incomparable Mox.
And introducing the
Jon
opponents
Moxley.
From Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing in today at 225 pounds, Jon Moxley.
I tell you, Jon Moxley has never looked better. I had a very short conversation with him. He is in a great frame of mind, knowing he's going into what could be a trip to the hospital. This is going to be ugly, folks. We're just telling you. Don't expect a great wrestling match.
Of all of Mick Foley's personas, Cactus Jack is by far the most dangerous and depraved of them all.
and introducing the opponents
weighing 287 pounds, from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, Cactus Jack.
No question, JR. Something happens to Foley when he becomes Cactus Jack. He sure isn't a children's book author anymore, that's for sure.
He certainly isn't. The only stories Cactus Jack has written are written in blood on canvases from here to Japan.
And he doesn't care if it's his blood or his opponent's.
Oh, and look at the Sandman wielding that kendo stick. Goes to swing it at Jon Moxley, my God. Swinging it like a baseball bat. The Sandman has always been known for swinging that thing around. And look at Cactus Jack just scraping Terry Funk's face right off of the barbed wire wrapped around his own body.
But Sandman has much in trouble on the outside.
They could go crashing through that table.
Jon Moxley. Oh, almost there.
A pile driver crashing into that table would have been his ticket to that championship.
Oh no! I don't like the looks of this!
Oh, suplex on the floor!
Wow! If he keeps this up, this could be over quick!
And now look at the Sandman. Oh, but Jon Moxley with one even bigger. The Sandman has a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, but look at Moxley with that 2x4 covered in nails, and he's scraping it on the face of the Sandman. My God. This is disgusting, ladies and gentlemen. This is not for the faint of heart. The Crimson masks just being dished out, and oh no. Cactus Jack taking that exploding barbed wire board and bringing it to the outside.
He's certainly not showing his opponent any mercy here tonight.
He does not want to meet that barbed wire. Or maybe he does. Bulldog into that exploding barbed wire.
Did you see that?
Would you look at that?
Cactus Jack going face first into not just fire, but barbed wire as well.
Funk will take the fight to Cactus Jack all night long.
And now Jon Moxley going right after the Sandman, but the Sandman giving him some as well. The Sandman now got Jon Moxley, punching him in the corner, and he's trying to get him in this precarious situation, getting him on the top rope. Jon Moxley in trouble here with that barbed wire board in the center of the ring.
Sandman can't possibly be thinking about that Hurricane Rana from the top rope. My God! Hurricane Rana from the top rope signature by Sandman. The back of Jon Moxley's head hitting that barbed wire board. This is disgusting, folks.
And now Cactus Jack has Terry Funk across that table. Oh no, Cactus Jack, is he thinking? Headed up to the apron. Oh no. Look out here now to the second rope.
Cactus Jack trying to end this one early. Bringing up the wood.
Diving elbow through the table there by Cactus Jack.
Oh my gosh! He just drove his opponent straight through that table!
He put his opponent through that table with authority.
Cactus Jack is a sick and demented human being. My God.
But what in the world is this that the Sandman is coming out with?
No! Not the chair! Not the chair! My God! Can you imagine the impact of that chair on the human body?
Look out! He's going crazy with that chair!
But now, Cactus Jack in the ring being met with a cutter there. Cutter by Jon Moxley right into that barbed wire board. Moxley with the knee, but no, Jack able to get out of it, but not for long with that back suplex.
Look out! That barbed wire's bad news!
Oh man! I can't even imagine the pain inflicted by that barbed wire.
Moxley has a light tube. Funk could be in trouble here.
Do something quick!
He's all fired up now, King.
But no, Terry Funk grabbed the light tube.
No! How can the referee allow something like that?
Wow! Did you see the way that light bulb just exploded?
I sure did, King. This one's turned downright nasty.
Cactus Jack staying right on top of Terry Funk with these punches to the face. Terry Funk covered in blood at this point, just drenched in it. And that knee to the face there of Terry Funk.
If I could borrow one of your lines, business is picking up.
This isn't business, King. That's a human being in there, and he's in bad shape now.
Look at that! He's bleeding like a stuck pig!
Oh no! It looks like he's donned the proverbial crimson mask.
There's so much blood, the Red Cross ought to be sponsoring this one.
Terry Funk taking the Sandman on top of that barbed wire structure, giving him a couple punches now. What could Terry Funk be possibly going for as he's going up the ladder? Oh no, that's a very tall ladder, folks. The Sandman moved. I don't think Funk noticed. Moonsault on that barbed wire. My God.
These superstars are totally out of control, Bryce. I love it. Oh my gosh.
Somebody's got to get him out of it, and I think Sandman getting him out of that barbed wire. Only to put him back in the ring with that DDT.
Barbed wire against a human body. What carnage.
But now Jack getting ready to pile drive Jon Moxley. No. Oh, no. Air raid. Crash right onto that cinder block.
My God, he's tearing his opponent apart.
Oh, man. You don't just shake off barbed wire, JR.
Double underhook could be going for it, but no. Cactus Jack rolled through, double arm DDT. And that could be it, but look at the Sandman quickly to the top. That Swanton Bomb, signature Swanton Bomb of the Sandman, and now...
Oh, man, don't tell me he's about to do what I think he's about to do.
The Sandman realized that Cactus Jack had this thing.
My God, would you look at the power of this superstar?
Oh, and he's showing them off to all the people here.
Here we go. Pile driver. Oh, my gosh.
And that could be it. 1, 2, there we go. The Sandman, the first ever tapped out to pro wrestling hardcore champion.
Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you just can't kick out. I thought we might see a kick out there, but it was not to be. No way, JR. The damage had been done, and there was nothing left in the tank to break the pin with. Well, whether you like it or not, there's no arguing with the referee's decision. Well, that was what you call a real slobber knocker. No, that's what you call a real slobber knocker, JR.
Every man looking like they just got out of a car crash. My God. Ladies and gentlemen, your first tapped out to pro wrestling hardcore champion, now the Sandman, and hopefully going to be a defending champion. I would love to see this man defend this championship. Who knows, maybe even every week. Wow, but ladies and gentlemen, Cactus Jack getting back to his feet, cannot believe it. Thank you all for joining us for this tapped out to pro wrestling hardcore championship match. The Sandman is your first ever tapped out to pro wrestling hardcore champion.
Yes, I came here all the way from my home in Greenwich, expecting to be one of the men chosen to work for the WORKHORSE Championship. But after getting in my gear, which always takes long preparation and concentration, that now I just wasted. Teddy Long tells me I'm not even wrestling tonight. He deprives you people of seeing the game, as well as depriving me my opportunity for the title. But that's fine. I'll just take the route Rick Rude did on Bischoff's show. If you don't believe I'm a workhorse, even after the hours I've put on the road, the miles I've put on my body, and the sacrifices I've made to my body for you people, then I'll just have to take what I believe is rightfully mine. Because if anyone is a workhorse, it's the cerebral assassin, the king of kings, the guy who is truthfully that damn good.
Well, hell, Triple H, all I'm doing is hearing a lot of moaning and complaining about why you don't have a spot that you believe you deserve. But you haven't even worked for it yet. None of us have. We all just started here, and you think you just deserve a shot in a championship that nobody even has yet. Oh, son, I've been walking around here all day, and Teddy Long hasn't given me one look, and I haven't been mad about it. I've been sitting over here drinking my beer happy as a daisy. I don't give a damn if he gives me a shot at all today, because I'm going to get my hands on that championship one way or another. Teddy Long doesn't have to give me a shot. I'll give myself a shot.
Well, why the hell aren't you mad, Austin? I mean, come on. We've given our lives to this business, and they give guys like Punk a chance. Sing, Samuel Joe, Kane. I mean, come on, Brian Danielson.
Well, shit, son, they did something that you didn't do. They got the opportunity that you wanted. And now you're sitting here and crying about it instead of fighting for it. Like they did. They fought for that opportunity to get the shot to go for the championship. They fought for their spot to go for that title, while you're sitting here complaining about it. And I'll tell you what, I did something about it. I did something about my opportunity being taken away from me. I went and I talked to Teddy Long, and he's given me an opportunity next week in a one-on-one match. In fact, whoever wins that championship has to go against the winner of whoever I face in that one-on-one match. And the man I'm going to be facing is the cerebral assassin, Triple H, the game. So I just gave you your opportunity that you're sitting here crying for. I believe a thank you is in order, and I believe that I'm going to be waiting for a six-pack that should be out in front of my dressing room door. So thank you very much, and goodbye, Triple H. I'll see you next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We are back. And it is, in fact, main event time, as we are about to have our big triple threat match between Booker T, Kane, and Sting. And whoever wins this match will be taking on CM Punk. And then whoever wins that is going to take on the winner of 2 more qualifying matches. And then we will finally decide who is going to be the Working Hours Workhorse Champion here on this brand. But this man, a guy who earlier tonight you all heard, believes that he should already have this championship around his waist. Booker T, ladies and gentlemen. Booker T is here. And earlier tonight, you all saw it, he had some issues with Kane. Yeah, we're going to take a look at it here. This is what Booker T had to say.
I'm happy Teddy Long believes I'm a workhorse. But what I'm not happy about is the fact he's making me fight all these guys to get that championship.
Oh boy, I don't think Kane took a liking to anything that Booker T had to say, especially the fact that Kane is in the same match as Booker T, knowing that he deserves a shot for that championship. Oh my God. Look up in the rafters. It's Sting! Now I think Booker T realizes it. Yep. And no way is Booker T happy that the guy who he's got to be facing later tonight was the one to help him out here. Yeah, but folks, now Booker T looking to make that name for himself in this triple threat match. I can't even believe that he was so flabbergasted to think that he would have to fight for a championship opportunity here. And here comes the man who was not too happy about the words that Booker T had to say. The big red machine, the big red monster, Kane. Of course, always being flanked by his henchman, Mankind. And of course, there he is. My God, I'm surprised he's even out. I'm surprised he's even out here, you know, after that match we just saw and all, you know. I'm not saying that, you know, a certain somebody could be a certain somebody else, but I'm just saying I haven't seen Cactus Jack and Mankind in the same room at the same time. But you gotta believe if you're Booker T and if you're Sting, this is the guy who realistically you're gonna stay on for the entirety of this match. This is the guy who is the biggest threat to you and your opportunity at that championship. And folks, it's kind of crazy to think about how hot it was in this building 3 minutes ago when Kane was just making his entrance, to now how cold it is with the snow dropping from the ceiling. It is freezing in this building, ladies and gentlemen. And folks, Sting and Darby Allin were not afraid to fight off Kane and Mankind earlier. So something's telling me Sting's not going to be afraid this time around. And I don't know how you can be, especially when you got a man like Darby Allin by your side. Some view Sting as the greatest of all time, and it's not hard to believe with what this man has done throughout the entirety of his career. He's one of the only professional wrestlers to be in the WWE, TNA, and WCW at one point in his career. There's not a lot of men who could say that. But when you're as pulverizing as Sting is, and if you are somebody who's had the career as Sting, you're bound to be in any and every promotion. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with our main event. Hey guys, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling YouTube video. I just wanted to take this time to thank Ringside Collectibles for all that they've done for the action figure community when it comes to wrestling. If it wasn't for these guys who started it all, we wouldn't be able to get our hands on a lot of the figures you see nowadays. Now, I'm not sponsored, nor do I have a discount code by any means, but I just wanted to take this time to thank them because, again, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't see a lot of what we do today. So go ahead right at the end of this video, or hell, even while you're watching this video, and check out ringsidecollectibles.com or wrestlingfigures.com for the most up-to-date wrestling figures in the world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Main event started, and Sting already going right after Kane. Not even giving Kane a second to breathe here as he is just laying down these shots to Kane here. And now Booker T looking to come up from behind on Sting. Sting is in trouble. Look out. Now some shots from Booker T. Booker T laying in these shots. Off the ropes goes Sting. Into that kick there by Booker T. Yeah, that height of Booker T really helps in his favor, especially with kicks like that. But not for long when you are a guy the size of Kane, as Kane is looking to get this choke slam on Booker T here. Booker T lands on his feet, able to stop himself. Now with these shots to Kane, kick to the gut, and a big old DDT sending him head first into the mat. And now he's grabbing Sting. Maybe he could be doing the same thing here, but no, a neck breaker there. And now Kane and Booker T back to their feet. Booker T with a big old flapjack. Booker T has had the upper hand thus far in this contest, as he has just taken it to Sting and Kane. And honestly, I gotta be honest, this isn't the way I saw this one going, folks. But it might be going the way I see it going, with Kane grabbing Booker T here. What's he going for? And a big old power bomb. Man, that's got to rattle the spine of Booker T. As now Kane taking it to Sting with a sidewalk slam from out of the corner. And now Booker T gets sent over the top rope, and Kane's going right out after him. And the fight has now been taken to the floor. This can't be good. Look out, Sting over the top rope. And now Darby Allin, what's he doing? He's not in this match. No, you've got to be kidding me. But Mankind running around, hopefully to save the day here. As Darby Allin hit that coffin drop, Mankind elbow drop from the second rope. You see what I'm telling you, that's got to be Cactus Jack. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, this thing is already getting chaotic to the max, as now every man on their feet. Sting went for the Stinger Splash, but he got caught by Kane, as Kane was trying to go for a tombstone there. But Sting nails him with a tombstone pile driver. But not for long, as Booker T was able to hit that Houston hangover, and we're going to see it. Look at that spinner-rooney. You love to see it from Booker T. This is why these people love him. But no, not for long, as Kane grabs that gullet, but he gets caught. Man, I thought Kane was going to go for a choke slam there, but he got caught with that book end, and now Sting. Stinger Splash in the corner to Booker T. But Kane right behind Sting here, setting him up for that choke slam, readjusting the glove, but no, Sting able to fight back. And now is Sting going to give Kane, yes, that Stinger Splash. Man, he nailed that splash in the corner, and now he's looking to do that inverted DDT on Kane here. But Booker T back to his feet. Kick to the gut of Sting. Could be going for a scissor kick, but no. Sting was able to catch him. Gorilla press. He's up high. And down comes Booker T. Man, Sting now with the upper hand. But Mankind not letting that happen for long. Trying to help out his buddy Kane here. And anything is legal in a triple threat match. So this is all legal here. But Sting, he's got Mankind. But he's not in this match, Sting. It doesn't matter. Scorpion death drop to Mankind. But now, Booker T with a scissor kick. And Kane, he's got the throat. Could be going for that choke slam. But wait a second. Is that a lantern? Folks, I don't know what's going on here. The lights in the arena are shutting out. Guys, I really don't know what this is about. There was a lantern in the corner. The lights went out in the arena. The lights are back on. Guys, what is going on here? Wait a second. Oh my God, no way. Is that who I think it is? It's Bray Wyatt. What the heck is Bray Wyatt doing out here? He has nothing to do with this match. He's not in any of the qualifying matches. What is Bray Wyatt doing out here? I'm so confused, folks. I don't know what this is about. But wait a second. Brody Lee with a discus clothesline. What is this about? Bray Wyatt and Brody Lee are out here. And oh my God, what is that? Some kind of pig monster just gave Darby Allin a meteor from the top rope. And no! Brody Lee just nailed Sting with that metal baseball bat. Oh my God, he's got to have a concussion. He's got to have something. We need medics to get in there. But I don't even think Bray Wyatt will let us get to the medics as the lights go out again. Oh my, and look at this. Booker T is on top of Sting. 1, 2, and that's it. Booker T moves on, and now Booker T is set to take on CM Punk in the next qualifying match, or I'm sorry, not the next qualifying match, but in the next match for the Tapped Out to Pro Wrestling Workhorse Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, Booker T, but at what cost? What was that about? Folks, thank you all for joining us, but next week, folks, we got a stacked card for you, as in Fatal 4-Way action, another qualifying match. The Rock, Bret Hart, Mankind, and British Bulldog will all be meeting in a one fall to a finish Fatal 4-Way, and then the triple threat qualifier for that week's episode is going to be The Undertaker taking on The Big Show and Shinsuke Nakamura, triple threat one fall to a finish action. And like we heard earlier, Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin will be going one-on-one, and whoever wins will get a shot at the Workhorse Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us.